My fellow South Africans, this State of the Nation address is taking place as we celebrate 70 years since the adoption of the Freedom Charter at the Congress of the People in Kliptown in 1955. The Freedom Charter is the cornerstone of our democratic constitution. It sets out a vision of a united, non-racial, non-sexist, democratic and prosperous South Africa. It also sets out a vision of a country in which government is founded on the will of the people of South Africa, where the land is shared among those who work it, where the people share in the country's wealth and in all that the country produces and are all equal before the law. It is this vision that continues to guide us as we work to build the nation that we all want. It is the spirit of the Congress of the People that inspires us as we prepare for a national dialogue in which South Africans are once again called upon to chart a new path for our country. We must chart this path in a world that is rapidly changing. It is a world of both interdependence and competition, of cooperation and conflict. It is a multipolar world in which new countries are emerging to play a greater role in global affairs. We are seeing intensifying competition over issues such as trade, technology, and influence in global institutions. There are global fundamental shifts underway that affect every aspect of human life, from the growing impact of climate change to rapid advances in artificial intelligence, geopolitical tensions, and violent conflicts. In the face of these challenges, we are witnessing the rise of nationalism, protectionism, the pursuit of narrow interests, and the decline of common cause. This is the world that we, as South Africa, a developing economy, must now navigate. But we are not daunted to navigate our path through this world that constantly changes. We will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied. We will stand together as a united nation, and we will speak with one voice in defense of our national interests, our sovereignty, and our constitutional democracy. By standing true to our values, by harnessing our unique strengths and endowments, and by forging a common purpose, we can turn these trying circumstances to our advantage and propel our country forward.
Ibilo mini ke namhlanje, guys, we did have our sauna day, and somebody posted on X and said, no, this is not the sauna that I ordered. Like, where is the drama? There was just no drama, even from the usual suspects. Hey, very interesting. And I think it's because even though we differ with views politically, we do understand that we need to unite at this moment as South Africans that want to see South Africa progressing, who are not selfish, who are not causing drama all around the world for selfish reasons. We do understand that this is the time to unite so that we deal with the issues that we faced with successfully. So what I'm going to do with this video, I'm going to be sharing a few clips with you, and we listen to the national anthem, and then I'm going to be reading the slides that I took from the X page of the Department of International Relations and Cooperation. Those slides are of what the president said today, and then I'm going to share the video clips that I liked what the president said today, and then after that, after those clips, I'm gonna come back, child, and be sharing my commentary on that one. I do hope everybody's still awake, or maybe not everybody, because other people are waking up very early going to work. So I hope at least some of us are awake so that we can be sharing views of what transpired today, because also I'm going to be bringing another video. Like, the former president Jacob Zuma was not there, and it was confirmed that he was gonna be there. He was not there, and I'm going to be sharing on that video why he was not there according to MK. Ndifundeke is lies. As promised, we want a nation where there is work for all, where every person can earn a decent living and realize their potential. You see, I wanted to add my own words by full potential. Anyway, the next slide says, as South Africans, we know the power of cooperation, of what is possible when people of different backgrounds, races, cultures, languages, ethnic groups, and religions come together behind a shared objective. Ndiyavumelana nawe Mongameli. I still can't believe kunabantu abahamba pha bayoxoka like sana emazweni nohala. You know, it's better when we peddle lies within ourselves than to go there and bring something that has consequences that even them they started being scared of. And the next slide says, we need a government that works for the people. We need a state that is capable and competent, underpinned by a professional public service. So guys, as we continue reading, so some people who went outside and lied, I wonder what they said today. We will stand together as a united nation. We will speak with one voice in defense of our national interest, our sovereignty, and our constitutional democracy. Because in the sense, the key pillars of our foreign policy remain the promotion of human rights, peace and friendship, and the strengthening of fair trade and investment ties with other countries. Of fair trade, of fair trade, not bas bullish. And we won't be bullied. And this slide says, even more valuable than our natural resources are the diversity, energy, and talent of the South African people. You know, at this moment, that has got to do with South Africa that the president spoke about, because what the South Africans are continuing to work together to confront our country's challenges and build a nation that works for all. As young as Trump, we didn't go to Trump and go and lie. We understand that we have to deal with our issues here within ourselves in South Africa together. As South Africans, we have nowhere to go and lie. You know, some other people, Julian Smalema once said, Forum is an embassy of the USA. They proved him right. No, Forum is proven Julian Smalema right. As a result, I was beginning to analyze many things that Julian Smalema is just that sometimes when he puts things out there, and we end up not listening to him. But you know what? Certain things, there's a lot that I don't agree with him, like for instance, immigration and whatnot. But, you know, there's a lot of things that AfriForum proved him right with what they did recently. So the son. Anyway, let me share some clips that I liked of the president today. I liked everything, but the highlights, my own highlights, I'll share with you shortly.
We want a nation that is at peace with the world. We want to continue through our international relations to advance the well-being of the people of South Africa as we seek to advance the well-being of humanity. Now, we will work to strengthen our trade relations around the world and to leverage our strong and diverse global alliances to make our economy more resilient. The key pillars of our foreign policy remain the promotion of human rights, peace and friendship, and the strengthening of fair trade and investment ties with other countries. Now, these are the principles that guide our presidency of the G20 this year.
Not that much to say.
We have chosen the theme of solidarity, equality and sustainable development to underscore the need for cooperation and partnership amongst the countries of the world. For the first time in its history, the G20 is being hosted on the African continent. And this is particularly important following the admission of the African Union as a member of the G20. It is a great opportunity for us to place the needs of our continent and the rest of the global South more firmly on the international development agenda. Our G20 presidency is a valuable opportunity for South Africa to advance efforts towards greater global economic growth and sustainable development. Africa remains at the center of our foreign policy. We continue to work to strengthen the African Union, to support the achievement of peace, development, and economic integration on our continent. We know that our future prosperity is intricately linked and bound to the prosperity of the African continent. For South Africa to thrive, we must ensure that Africa does indeed thrive as well. And we must silence the guns on our continent. Now, since the advent of democracy, we've been instrumental in restoring stability in countries such as Cote d'Ivoire, Burundi, South Sudan, Lesotho. More recently, we've been part of the SADC peacekeeping mission in Mozambique that has brought relative calm and stability to the Cabo Delgado province. The presence of South African peacekeepers in the eastern DRC is testament to our continued commitment to peaceful resolution of one of the world's most intractable conflicts that has gone on for years and that has cost millions of lives and displaced many people. Now we call on all parties to embrace the current diplomatic efforts to find a peaceful resolution, including honoring the Luanda process. We will attend the joint summit between SADC and the East African Community scheduled to take place in Tanzania this weekend, where we will reiterate our call for a ceasefire and a resumption of talks to find a just and enduring solution, and we will make sure that our boys, our soldiers do come back home. We have always believed that the freedom that we won and the international solidarity from which we benefited does impose a duty on us to support the struggles of those who continue to experience colonialism and oppression. South Africa continues to stand in solidarity with the people of Palestine, who have endured decades of illegal occupation and are now experiencing indescribable suffering. And South Africa has acted in accordance with its obligations under the Genocide Convention by instituting proceedings against Israel in the International Court of Justice. We are fully committed to the articles of the United Nations, including the principles that all members should settle their international disputes by peaceful means. We support the principle of respect of the territorial integrity and sovereignty of all states and peoples. We gather here as we mourn the death and tragic death and devastating loss of 14 South African soldiers who were part of a mission to bring peace to the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. We pay tribute and bow our heads to Staff Sergeant William Eddie Ola, Staff Sergeant Molachehi Ishmael Molachehi, Staff Sergeant Shahlane Theophilus Siepe, Corporal Matume Justice Malisa, Corporal Renae Nemabulani, Lance Bombardier Itumeleng McDonald Mureo, Lance Corporal Zeke Moffat Molapo, Lance Corporal Metsi Stensley Raswiswi, Rifleman Sibatane Richard Chokwe, Rifleman Derek Maluleke, Rifleman Sidiso Andris Mabele, Rifleman Calvin Louis Moahi, Rifleman Moketi Joseph Mobe, Private Peter Jacobus Strado. Speaker, I thank you for getting us to honor these fallen heroes. I have directed that a national flag be flown at half-mast in honor of these fallen heroes for a week starting from tomorrow morning. Alongside soldiers from other southern African countries, they lost their lives in defense of the fundamental right of the Congolese people to live in peace and security. They lost their lives not in the pursuit of resources or territory or power. They lost their lives so that the guns on our continent may be forever silenced. So we salute them.
You know, the president there said for South Africa to prosper, the entire continent must prosper. You know, very important. But you know what stood out for me the most, that is going to stay with me for the longest time? He said, we must silence the guns in Africa. Our continent is riddled with bullets, is riddled with guns. We are such an armed continent, is not even funny. So, for me, that is a very, very important part out of all that I've listened to from the president, from the clips that are shared with you. The most important one, he said, we must silence the guns in our continent. The guns, they do so many things. People leave their homes, people lose their lives, people get displaced. A lot of things that are happening in our continent because of guns. And that is why most of the time our continent is a laughingstock, and all these other countries from outside our continent, they think they can bully us anyhow, especially what I'm seeing now from the US and your Israel. I see that, you know what, it is very easy to manipulate and disrespect us. Even those who get manipulated by countries like the US in this Africa, it is not like they are better than us. They must not think they are better than us. It's because they have found those they can bully, those they can use, those who can be a tool in their hands to use against other fellow Africans. You see, so if at this moment as an African, you look at the US as your friend out of what they did today, they must be, they are not taking you seriously. They are not taking you seriously. There is this constant need by Donald Trump to control what is happening in Africa. So I like what Fikile Mbalula said in one clip. I'm still going to do a video about that. He said, we are not a branch of a country. We are not a branch of the USA. Sana. So that stood out for me. We must silence guns in our continent. Okay, guys, whatever your views are, kindly share those views in the comment section. So it's very late, so now even my tongue is saying its own things because it's late in the night and I'm a bit fluid. So the mad lemon, what is it called, your allergics and all, they are doing their own thing in my head. But okay, guys, whatever your views are, kindly share them in the comment section. So we must silence the guns in our continent. I wish I could write this. I wish I could have the loudspeaker that can go that could go around the entire continent for everybody to hear and make sure that it sticks in people's brains that with so much guns that we have in our continent, that is not going to move us forward. That's not what is going. It is going to take us being corruption free, being full of love for our continent, for our countries. Let's start with our countries first, because we are rotten here, we are rotten there. Each country is rotten on its own. Each country is rotten on its own. It is very impossible even for us to come together and be working together for the greater good of the continent, because but let us silence the guns in our continent. Oh, President, bro, so hopefully moving forward in the future, you're going to see progress for South Africa, progress for everyone, man. South Africa, hey guys, with that said, guys, and thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And next time you bump into my videos, kindly watch my ads in full. It really goes a long way. And to those who are supporting my channel by watching my ads in full, guys, you don't really have to, but you do. Enkosi kakhulu, enkosi.